And I was like, I want to go to 2nd Marine Division, and I want to go to a combat unit so I can deploy. I didn't know other people didn't want to do that. He's like, absolutely. So, here I'm thinking, yes, I got my number one choice. Well, I got a lot of people's last choice. So, but it was perfect for me. Perfect beginning is how I'm wired.
Sure.
And it's how God actually used my entire time in the military. I don't know much about the real Navy. I know it exists. I know it's wonderful. I've had a small, a tour overseas, a small blip in San Diego, but the rest of my time is with Marine Special Forces or special duty assignments and lots of deployments. It's almost like you go in with 100% trust, because chaplains have been serving with Marines since time began, right? In the military and with the United States. 1775, our birthday is 18 days after the Marine Corps birthday. I used to tell them it took y'all 18 days to figure out you needed chaplains to get you out of a bar. My entrance into SOF was only by God. I was supposed to be detailed. You get to talk to the detailer. That's who tells you where you're going next 1 year out. Well, at 1 year out, the detailer wasn't answering any of my emails. And so the new detailer came in around 8 months out, and he calls me. He's like, why aren't you detailed? I'm like, I don't know. You're the detailer. He goes, where do you want to go? And I said, my wife loves San Diego. The weather is perfect out there. It's just wonderful if you get to ever visit. And he named some assignments, and I just out of nowhere said, do you have anything more challenging? And he said, I don't know what DEVGRU is, but they're having a hard time filling it. Call the chaplain. And the chaplain told me one of the reasons that it was so easy to screen me is I didn't ask a lot of questions like, do I get to go to jump school? What kind of training do I get? I asked him 2 questions. Do you do ministry, and do you get support to do ministry?
What's the spiritual nature of war and death, specifically at a place like DEVGRU?
Adam was probably the most outspoken Christian operator we had. He was just bigger than life. The book Fearless is written about him, and it's not about him being a SEAL. It's about a redemption story, because he's not a very good, upstanding young man in one season of his life. So you see the story of eternal story even in within this, because Adam's loss made these guys evaluate what was real, right? What was it all about? His best friend became a Christian right before he deployed and was killed. It was the only time his wife had peace of any of his deployments, because before, in her faith background, if he dies, it's not good, right? Now he's better off. Of course she grieved, but she didn't grieve as a person without hope. Both my parents died of ALS 18 years apart, which is interesting, and that created some interesting dynamics. Lost my mom at an early age, so death was introduced, and it's never something we want, but it's something that's real, and it's a part of life, and then how you navigate that is important. In Orlando, Florida, just came out of a restaurant. My phone blew up, and I knew it was bad because I could hear it on the other end, and I didn't hear a voice. It's kind of funny, but the Master Chief that was killed, it's almost like I heard him say, "Get up and serve us well." And then I got 2 phone calls from our operational supervisor chaplain and then SOCOM chaplain. And both of those men, they may not know today what they did for me, but they asked me how I was, and they prayed for me, and then said, what do you need? What I really wanted them to do was take it away from me and say, oh, this guy can't handle it all. This is huge.